Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Compassion is the basis of morality. All truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as self-evident. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone. And if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom. For it is only when he is alone that he is really free. Mostly, it is loss, which teaches us about the worth of things. Happiness consists in the frequent repetition of pleasure. Treat a work of art like a prince. Let it speak to you first. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. No rose without a thorn, but many a thorn without a rose. Compassion for animals is intimately associated with goodness of character, and it may be confidently asserted that he who is cruel to animals cannot be a good man. The person who writes for fools is always sure of a large audience. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. One should use common words to say uncommon things. Great men are like eagles. They build their nest on some lofty solitude. Every parting gives a foretaste of death. Every reunion, a hint of the resurrection. A high degree of intellect tends to make a man unsocial. If I maintain my silence about my secret, it is my prisoner. If I let it slip from my tongue, I am its prisoner. Wealth is like seawater. The more we drink, the thirstier we become. And the same is true of fame. Sleep is the interest we have to pay on the capital, which is called in at death. And the higher the rate of interest, and the more regularly it is paid, the further the date of redemption is postponed. The world is my idea. The doctor sees all the weakness of mankind, the lawyer all the wickedness, the theologian all the stupidity. A man can do what he wants, but not want what he wants. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. Willpower is to the mind like a strong blind man who carries on his shoulders a lame man who can see. A man's face, as a rule, says more and more interesting things than his mouth, for it is a compendium of everything his mouth will ever say, in that it is the monogram of all this man's thoughts and aspirations. Wicked thoughts and worthless efforts gradually set their mark on the face, especially the eyes. Boredom is just the reverse side of fascination. Both depend on being outside rather than inside a situation, and one leads to the other. If we were not also interested in ourselves, life would be so uninteresting that none of us would be able to endure it. Will minus intellect constitutes vulgarity. Music is the melody whose text is the world. Almost all of our sorrows spring out of our relations with other people. Journalists are like dogs. Whenever anything moves, they begin to bark. The discovery of truth is prevented more effectively, not by the false appearance things present, and which mislead into error, not directly by weakness of the reasoning powers, but by preconceived opinion, by prejudice. Opinion is like a pendulum and obeys the same law. If it goes past the center of gravity on one side, it must go a like distance on the other. And it is only after a certain time that it finds the true point at which it can remain at rest. The difficulty is to try and teach the multitude that something can be true and untrue at the same time. It is only at the first encounter that a face makes its full impression on us. If you want to know your true opinion of someone, watch the effect produced in you by the first sight of a letter from him. A man's delight in looking forward to and hoping for some particular satisfaction is a part of the pleasure flowing out of it, enjoyed in advance. But this is afterwards deducted. For the more we look forward to anything, the less we enjoy it when it comes. Honor has not to be won. It must only not be lost.